Welcome to today's video on designing a ghost lantern. Let's go to tinkercad.com. Now we'll log in using our school Gmail account and you can join your teacher's classroom using her class code. Once you've logged in, your screen should look like this. Click the Create button and select 3D Design to begin designing your project. To start designing the ghost, we're going to drag this semi-cylinder onto our work plane, and we're going to use the rotation arrow to rotate it 180 degrees. Now I'm going to select this component and use Control or Command C and then V to paste a duplicate version of it onto my work plane. I'm going to slide it over 2 segments using the arrow key on my computer, and again I'm going to copy and paste, slide over twice, and now I have the 3 components that will make up the bottom waves of my ghost. Now I'm going to drag my cursor over the 3 components, and I'm going to use the group tool on the top right hand corner to group the components so that when I move them, they all are joint. Next I'm going to take another semicircle onto my work plane, and I'm going to align it with the group component that I just made. Then I'm going to adjust the width so it's the same width as the base that it's on top of, and I'm going to raise the height to around 3 inches, like so. Now that I've sized the top of my ghost to my liking, I'm going to drag this component over to the side and use Command C, Command V to make a copy. Now for this copy that we just made, I'm going to click Shift on my computer and then this arrow, this corner piece that's gray, to shrink the duplicate copy of the ghost top portion just a little bit, so it's around 0.9 by 2 1/4 of an inch. We press Shift to make sure that the ratio of the length, width, and height do not change as we shrink the component a little bit. And then I'm going to click the smaller component, make it hollow, and I'm going to drag over the solid and hollow version of the top part of the ghost, and I'll use the Align tool to align them horizontally and vertically. Then I'll group them, and this will create a hollow body for our ghost. Now I'm going to drag more semicircles onto my work plane. I'll need 2 to make the eyes, so I have both on my work plane side by side. I'm going to select both and raise the height to approximately 7/8 of an inch. I think I'm happy with that height. And I'll set the fill to hollow. I'll make them less broad. And then again, I'll use the group tool to group both the eyes, and I'll select the body along with the eyes, and then I'll use the Align tool to align them along the center axis like so. Now I'm going to scoot them backwards using the arrow key on my computer, and then I'll use the upwards arrow to drag the eyes towards the top of the ghost body. Here I see that my eyes are a bit too large, so I'm going to use Shift to save the ratio, and then again I'm going to size down a bit. At this point you might have to select both components again and realign to the center axis like so. Next I'm going to drag my cursor over the eyes and the body, and after making sure that both the eyes are slightly overlapping with the component of the body, I'm going to group so that the eyes cut into the body and create this hollow-like design. Finally, I'm going to take a cylinder and place it on the center of the ghost body. I'm going to choose to size down a bit, but this is up to you, however you would like your design to be. And I'm also going to make sure that it's a hollow fill so that I can create the mouth of my ghost. Next, I'm going to select the hollow cylinder along with the ghost body, and I'm going to use the center Align tool. And finally, I'm going to group. You'll notice this time I didn't slide the hollow cylinder back enough, so it didn't cut all the way through my ghost body. So once I fix that, I'm going to regroup And this time, I've successfully cut through the front portion of the ghost. Now to create a ridge inside the base of the ghost so that the top part doesn't slide off and so that our candle has a spot to sit, I'm going to use this cube. I'm going to place it right on top of my base component, and I'm going to drag it so it's not entirely as long as the base, and I'll move the width back a bit. So again, I don't want it to be as large as the base, a little bit smaller is what we would like. Then I'll adjust the height to 1/8 of an inch. I'll select both the components, align horizontally and vertically, and then group. Then I'm going to take another cube, place it on top again, and make it even smaller than the rectangle that's perched on top of the bottom of our ghost design. You can eyeball this for now, like so. Make the height a little bit less, and this time we're going to make it a hollow fill. Then I'm going to drag it down a bit so it cuts into the top component of my ghost's base, and I'm going to drag my cursor over all the base components, align horizontally and vertically, making sure that the hollow cube is a little bit smaller than the inner ridge that we're trying to create right now. And again, make sure that you're horizontally and vertically aligned. And then I'm going to select all the components and group. Now we have a little slot for a candle, and when we put this ghost component on top of its base, it'll not slide off. Now to make sure that we're creating a design that's large enough to hold our candle, I'm going to search for a candle in the basic components library and drag it onto my work plane. For reference, these candles are about 1.5 by 1.5 inches, and as of now, our design would not be large enough to fit this candle. To make sure that I have a large enough design, I'm going to select the top of the ghost as well as the base component, and I'm going to use this horizontal button right here to adjust the horizontal size of my components. Now you can see that it's around 2 inches, which should be wide enough for our tea light candle, and we can double check by checking the components of the base specifically. Here you'll notice that it's a little under 1.5 inches as of now. So again, I'm going to click the top of the ghost, the bottom of the ghost, and I'm going to increase the width. After double checking, now we have both a width and length that's greater than 1.5 inches, which means that our candle will be able to fit inside of our ghost lantern. Just a reminder that when you do put a candle inside your 3D printed design, make sure that it's an LED to prevent any fire hazards, but apart from that, you should have a design that's really cool to decorate your house for Halloween. I hope you learned how to design some fun 3D shapes for the Halloween season, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.